Hello everyone, welcome to Trauma Behind the Glamor.
Step into the world behind the spotlight with Trauma Behind the Glamor, a powerful new podcast hosted by none other than Ra. Each week, Ra sits down with artists from all walks of life, models, fashion designers, actors, and musicians who share their unfiltered stories of struggle and resilience.
Oh, whoa, what amazing messages we have been having on Trauma Behind the Glamour with all these amazing actors, stars, actresses, models, designers, musicians. Every single one who has been sharing has allowed you to understand you are not alone. And today, I'm excited to introduce our next guest who is about to blow your mind with all her experience, because she is not a stranger to when it comes to mental stress, especially in this industry of fashion, acting, everything like that. And listen to me, she's one of those who has been around when you hear this bio right now. So I want to introduce to all of you Janelle Funari, the creative powerhouse behind Maxine Avenue, New York City, a brand inspired by her beloved French bulldog, Maxine. And guess who is in studio with us today? Maxine! You'll see some beautiful photos of her. Frustrated by the lack of stylish options for curvy pups, Janelle began designing unique, eco-friendly, and hypoallergenic pieces that allows pets to strut their stuff in many different ways. With over 20 years in the industry, Janelle has launched over 100 brands. Listen, and she's recognized by many fashion consultants and many different fashion industry throughout New York City to Milan to Paris to London. She has been on many different runaways, and today she's here to tell you her story. Her designs have been worn by celebrities like Kim Kardashian. This is the person who is coming here to tell you her story today. And without further ado, I want to welcome Janelle Funari. Janelle?
Hi everyone, my name is Janelle Funari. My brand is actually Funari New York, out of New York City, and Maxine is my muse. So as he spoke, this is my brand, Maxine Avenue by Funari. I make pet clothing for pets and humans to match. So our new concept that we just launched this year is Match Your Pet. So we're really excited. We make everything in New York City, a sustainable, eco-friendly brand. I celebrated my green anniversary, 21 years of making green products. So I'm very proud of that. And yes, there's so much to know about me. So I started this industry very young. I actually started at, 17 years old. And I started actually working, making clothing and then doing sales on the side. And then I grew up from that. I ended up moving into very large brands. My first major job was with Target, which everybody knows that brand, which is a massive company. And I worked with them for a long time. I worked on a lot of projects. It was very rewarding to see my products in all the 200 stores across the country. I expanded into contemporary, so I worked for a lot of brands in Miami. I worked in lingerie, which I found that was really my love and my passion. And then after that, I ended up leaving lingerie to start my new line, which was dresses out of Miami. So I have been in the industry for 20 years. I was one of the first people to launch an organic, eco-friendly dress collection in Miami, and we dressed a lot of celebrities. And then after that, I ended up leaving Miami when the economy dropped, 2008, came to New York, had to rebrand my company, which was a lot of work. Getting the name Funari took 3 years to fight in courts. So to let you know, it's not easy to get your surname as your brand name. I could give that advice. But I was able to prove that I was dressing celebrities, I was sold in stores, and with my great lawyer, that I thank him so much, he was able to get me the name Funari that I'm now using. Yeah, so that's pretty much where I am right now, but there's so much that's happened to me in this industry, and I'm sure you're wondering why I went into eco-friendly clothing. There is a reason why. Being in the mass market, I saw a lot of different things, and I realized that I wanted to make a change. And I realized that no one was making organic clothing. So to tell you my story, I had to leave the United States, and I had to go to Canada to get them to believe in my concept of making organics, and actually in India. So those are things like just to let you know like who the partners are, but I'm so grateful to the partners who helped me in the beginning, and I never forget those people. I'm big into loyalty. And yeah, that's how I began. I actually started organic fabrics out of Canada, and then I was making a lot of silks out of India where they don't kill the worm. So I'm not sure if you know that. When you're wearing silk, you're actually part of a process, right? So it was nice that we actually created organic materials in Canada that are eco-friendly, that are hypoallergenic, that are healthy for your skin, because you don't really understand when you're wearing clothing that, you know, it's next to your skin, you know? So I don't think people really think about that when they buy clothing, but I do. So that's the reason why. I suffered from a lot of allergies, eczema. I was sick a lot as a child. So this was my way to create something that works for me. And I found out that there's so many other people like myself that are suffering from the same things. So that's why I began an eco-friendly organic clothing line. And then I found out that dogs have the same problem. I ended up getting Maxine 11 years ago, and I had no idea that French bulldogs suffer from so many allergies, and it's their skin. So, like, here we go again. I had to figure this out. I went down a rabbit hole, figured out that if you put these beautiful fabrics onto their skin, it does help them heal when they're having a rash or a breakout. And my clients were telling me this information, so I felt so good that my brand was helping. So that's why I started with French bulldogs. Everyone always asks me that, like, why did you start with them? It's not only because I couldn't find something for her cute, curvy shape, I couldn't find anything that would help her skin heal when she was having these terrible breakouts and rashes. So that was the reason why I continued with the organic materials and still use them and believe in them for, you know, the animals, because they too are like us. You know, they have the same suffer and problems that we have. So that's where it all began. It started from one French bulldog, and then she was wearing her coat around New York City. Everyone started stopping her. And then I realized I have a company. So I started manufacturing, you know, and making all sizes. So we actually make from Chihuahua all the way up to like Pit Bull Doberman breed. And it's like very rewarding to see not only the pets happy, but their families happy. So that's what it's all about, you know, is making a lifestyle brand. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to help the world, help animals. Every collection we create with the pet line, we're giving back to charity. So multiple charities across the country we work with, and we donate to them with every single collection. So it's very rewarding for what I do. So a part of my story that no one really knows about me was just like how hard and how challenging it has been to maintain a clothing line. I started in Miami, and then, like I said, I had to close my company, rebuild, and come to New York, which that in its own was very, very difficult at a very difficult time where the economy was just crashing. So the trauma that I feel like I went through in New York was going through the pandemic, right? I mean, we were hit the hardest. We didn't know like if we were going to be alive. So it was scary, those moments that I lived, and I feel like I carry that with me, and I'll never forget it, because I was living in an apartment building in Brooklyn, and people were just being carried out in body bags. I'm gonna be honest with you, this was very traumatic. I went to work, I saw at the corner of the street, body bags piling up. I mean, the stuff that I saw, it's definitely triggered me. It's stuck in my mind forever. I'll never forget it. But it was just such a horrible time because we were like, we didn't know what to do. We didn't know what to make. And people asked me, how did you survive? Because think about it. I had a store at that time. I closed my store. I closed my office. I closed my manufacturing facility. I had to move my stuff over to a place that like, I didn't even think I was gonna make it. I thought I was just gonna have to close. So we survived. We survived through the pet line. That's why I'm so grateful to the customers who stuck with me by my side during this hard time, because I'm gonna be honest, it was the scariest moments of my life, having to deliver, wearing hazmats, masks, not knowing, am I gonna get sick to deliver? But we delivered through this, and I'm just so grateful that the people survived. But it did attack a lot of people in my business. And I lost the person who created Maxine Avenue with me. And people don't know that there's a team behind my brand. It's not just Janelle Funari. And I have very talented artists working for me. And the woman that did all my artwork, every artwork on my runway, everything that you saw, and she created my logo, which was Maxine's face, I lost her. And I know it was because of this pandemic that took her. And it's been hard to rebuild, because not only did I lose her, I lost the people that gave me my fabric. No one understands that they were gone. So like when you lose these sources that were the people that supported you from the moment I started, it was hard to keep going. And I lost my salesman who brought my company, like we were doing so great. We were ready to be in 200 stores before everything was shut off in New York. And I lost all those sales. I lost him. I lost so many people, but I'm still standing here waking up with a smile on my face and saying like, I can still do this in New York. And I'm giving New York, that chance that I can still operate here. But it has been so hard as a small business to continue. And if anyone just knows how hard it is to be a small business in general. But like I said, I'm just grateful that I had the clothing line with the pets, because we were able to ship those. Because usually we had a brick and mortar where people met us, try it on, we did fittings. We couldn't do our clothing line anymore. So that's why I shifted. People always ask me, Janelle, why are you all over the place? I'm not all over the place because I choose to. I'm all over the place because I have to. Like for me to continue in this industry, I have to keep shifting and evolving, or I am going to go out of business. So that's why I get very upset when people say to me, why does Funari have so many clothing lines? That's the reason why. Whenever the economy shifts, we shift, and we keep shifting. That's why we ended up with the pet line. We ended up with the activewear line that matches the pet, and now I actually have a lingerie line that I'm gonna be launching this year. So we shift when the economy is shifting. But like I said, it's all about resilience, right? We never gave up in those moments that were really dark. We didn't think we were gonna make it. I got very sick during the pandemic. One of my assistants did as well. She couldn't walk. There were days that we didn't know if we were coming out of this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had breast cancer during the pandemic. I had to remove a nodule. I'm just happy they caught it, but just going through all these things, like I said, this is a lot of trauma. And like I said, I've come out of a lot of different things. And like I said, I'm still going every day, and I'm happy to do what I do. And it makes me happy, and it's what I wake up for. I mean, if I didn't have fashion, I don't know what I would do. So that's pretty much my story. And yeah.
Wow, Janelle, can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Everyone, Janelle Funari, we are going to have a sit down with her, ask her some questions. We're not going to ask her so much pressing questions anymore. But that, oh my God, you took me back. And I want you all to remember, you heard how she said, how many brands? You keep doing what is best for you. The same we have on your Trauma Talks, Trauma Behind the Glamor, Trauma Talk Thursdays, Mental Health Bites, anything to help. And yeah, the word she used, resilience. Your resilience is your truth. It's your story of who you are. And we love you. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Trauma Behind the Glamor. And we are here with the amazing Janelle Funari of Maxine Avenue, New York City, Fashion by Funari. And let me tell you, just heard her story, and that's her story, her resilience, her truth. We hear people every day that's stuck, depressed, and can't move forward in life. But guess what happens? Always remember, what is meant for you shall never pass you by, and what passes you by was never meant for you. So, Janelle, I really loved everything you said, and I want to get more into your brand. All right, and your brand is by a beautiful baby right here. So Maxine Avenue, New York City by Funari was inspired by a beautiful French bulldog right here. The amazing, beautiful, and talented, because she was modeling, posing for pictures. So Maxine you were inspired by her. You want to tell us a little bit about what happened in your life at that time you started creating with Maxine?
Yes. So actually, when I received Maxine in my life, it was a really amazing time because I was just receiving our first runway shows in New York, which was really cool. And we had received approval of our trademark Funari, which was huge. It took 3 years in courts. That's why I spent so much time. People asked me when I left Miami and I came to New York why I didn't continue. I wanted to change the name since I was in New York. I felt like I had to rebrand myself. So it felt like it was the right time to start. And when we launched, we actually did one of the most amazing destination bridal, eco-friendly bridal lines in New York City. And at that time, I was like, let's get started, like with that. And Maxine was the muse, so we ended up making a dress for her for the bridal line. So it was really cool that we were seen on a runway show in New York City, and she actually wore a beautiful mini-me dress that matched the bride. So that was like her first debut, and at that time there was not many pets in fashion shows in New York. They weren't even allowing them in, so you can imagine the stress I had bringing her, because I didn't even know if she was going to be able to be in the show. I could just tell you that. New York is very tough with security, and pets are not allowed in spaces in New York. And I know I make this look easy, and people see me with these runway shows with pets, but it has not been an easy road for us. Even to get into Paris with the dogs, it was really, really complicated, and a cat. So it has been a very complex road, but I know we make it look easy, but we jump through fire to get these shows produced. And I continue because my passion is for animals, but know that it has not been an easy task.
You see that? We hear these stories all the time. And everyone thinks like we're hosting a mental health conference in a theater on Broadway at the Palladium. And no one understands. We've been doing this for 3 years, and no one understands the depth, how hard it is to put together these events. And we have been trying with the I think it's the ACIS, to get the pets, to get them to be there, to show people a pet, how it helps with mental health.
Thank you.
And they don't understand how a pet can help you with anxiety. A simple story I tell all the time is I was walking down the street, and this old lady, she normally walks this little pretty dog. And then one day, because of my other dogs, I saw the guy coming down the street with this dog, and I started talking to him, and he started telling me, my mom passed away, and I don't like pets, but this pup has helped me through the losing of my mom. And this, you would not believe. Just a minute ago, we heard your amazing story. And while she cheered up and while she broke down, we had Maxine jump up to find out what's going on with my mom. Why is she crying?
Yeah.
So you see, what she's telling you, jumping through the hurdles just for your pet. And your pet these days, they can help you in so many ways. So sometimes the rules could be bent just for us to accommodate our fur babies. So with that being said, Janelle, I want to ask you, you've been around. You have launched over 100 brands and worked with major retailers in the fashion houses. From outside the fashion world, tell us about the glam, the trauma behind the glam. What are some of the pressures and the realities that people do not understand that often they do not see that happens behind the scenes?
I mean, there's so much that happens. It all starts right from a piece of fabric, and I think that has been a huge challenge, is being able to get our fabrics made, especially with this year. Everyone knows about what's going on with the tariffs, so you could just imagine the challenges that we have had to receive these fabrics on time, to make deliveries, to be able to do fashion shows and finish our collections on these strict deadlines that fashion puts on us. And if we don't make those deadlines, we're done. So I don't think people know the pressures. Like I said, I make this look so easy, but there's been times where I'm like, how are we doing this? The fabric is 3 months late. That's what happened to us. And we still managed to launch in New York City for the show. So like I said, I have a dedicated team. I'm so loyal to them because they have been there through all this trauma and this anxiety and the stress. And it's hard to wake up when you know, like, you might not have your clothing done. And I think it takes a really strong personality to be in fashion, because I see so many designers quit. And so many people ask me, like, I don't know how you're continuing. And I guess being a consultant, there's so many people I've met that said, we wish we would have known you because I wouldn't have quit. Like, if I would have met you and you could have helped me, then there might have been a possibility that brands wouldn't go under. But no one understands the trauma right now is I walk in the city and I hear a brand going under every day. And no one's talking about this. No one's talking about it. And I'm seeing it, hearing it, and it does give anxiety. It's creating a lot of anxiety in the community of the streets of New York City. Just to walk around and you feel it, like you feel like a thickness in the air. And like I said, I just try to be the light and smile and say it's gonna work out and we're gonna get through this. I mean, we did this before, right? We've gone through so many challenges in the fashion industry. We're seeing these issues with the tariffs and economic crashes and surviving. And what I always say is luxury wins the race.
Wow, I really love that. And I mean, you got me in tears. I mean, when you think about it, she just talked about economy, and she's talking about not just the pandemic now. We're running all the way back to 2008. 2008 took until 2012 to start climbing back. She's talking about her peers that she would know in the industry. It might be a competition or not, but at the end of the day, she knows how hard it is for another person to open a store, to go through it, and then to go under. You got to keep going. I met you at New York Fashion Week, and we're talking about behind the scenes stuff. And we know that that is not something easy.
No, even that show is not easy.
I can tell.
We make this look so easy, but no one understands the fire code in New York. The fire marshal's like waiting outside. And if there's too many people in that show, the show is gone. And it always happens that there has not been one show that I've done where we haven't been threatened by a fire marshal.
Wow.
So like they had, you know, like we had to get ready in another place.
Yes.
And then come there because I couldn't have my hair and makeup team. I wasn't allowed. There was not enough space. But this happens at a lot of shows that we do. And I think no one understands how these fashion weeks look so glamorous, but they don't really see what we go through behind those doors.
See that? You see, when it is you go to a show, be respectful to the models, be respectful to the designers, be respectful to the environment, because it takes a lot to put together something. You just pull up, get dressed, look glamorous for yourself, and appear as a guest, and you're like judging. No, it does not work like that, and they put a lot of hard work into it. So I'm really, really excited about this, and Funari, Janelle, like, you are really, really full of resilience, and I love this. Your brand focuses on eco-friendly, organic, and sustainable fashion. What inspires you to take direction, and why do you believe in that this is important for the fashion industry?
So I know I started 20 years ago. Like, I'm so excited that we're in our 21st year of being green in fashion, which is huge.
That's congratulations.
Thank you, but it was not easy. Like, that challenge of not finding those materials, the innovation of what I wanted back then, there was only a few brands back then even attempting to move into eco fashion, but I called on different countries to help me because unfortunately I couldn't find it in the US. So I ended up going to Canada, who actually developed my eco-friendly, organic, 100% organic cotton. And then I went to India and found silks where they actually didn't murder the worm. So it's all about ethics with my brand. And that was like where we started our first brand. But I mean, people are wondering, why am I so, right? I know people are like, I understand it's about, the industry doing something different, something innovative, but people kept asking me, why are you so into this, right? But it was because personally, I felt like I couldn't find it, number one, because I was having a lot of skin issues, eczema, and I was always with doctors my whole life, and I wanted something as a solution for my skin issues, and I felt like when I wore organics, it was healing me. So that was the reason why I was so passionate about it. And I also saw some really scary things. I don't want to say exactly, but I did see that people don't understand that if fabrics aren't processed correctly, the dyes actually go into your skin. And I saw my sewing team getting sick. So if you're seeing, like, do you know what I mean? Like those things happening, or their hands getting deteriorating as they're creating the clothing, like a light bulb went off. And I said, I have to be a change in this industry. Why are we okay with all these dyes that are not being monitored and no one really cares? But unfortunately, when you're in the world of fast fashion, no one cares. So that's why I choose to do more higher end, higher quality, sustainable products that are actually being monitored, for these things to make sure that they are safe. So I'm creating a safe clothing line as well.
I love this. And when we talk about you are not alone, and I say this over and over, same thing with me. I started this over 7.5 years ago, and many people ask me, what do you get out of it? What do you do by just taking people's stories? What was it? Is it going to make you rich or something? It's not that. Because we sit as normal people, and when I say normal people, as hard as you are, as you could be in front of which camera, you are still normal in everyone's eyes. But then you look at the celebrities that's out there, that's big in everyone, and you could listen to their story and be like, oh, they have money, they do this, they're out there, because I've heard it. A simple thing, like I was down out in 2015, and I heard someone compare to like Oprah being raped when she was young, and all these different things happened to her. And then you're gonna hear something, oh, she's Oprah, she has money, she can. That's not who she was before. So I love taking the stories of others so others can hear what people have been through. And I love that how you could be there for someone else. Understand this is causing harm to another person and actually step up. And that's amazing, Janelle. You know what I tell people? Give yourself a pat on the back because you did well. You are doing something that make changes. Janelle, where can they find you? Where can they find Funari and the brand that you have?
So right now you can actually find us online, funariNY.com, and feel free to book an appointment with me. I am in New York. You can meet me, or we can even do like a Zoom call and go over what you're looking for, because we do custom made. A lot of people don't realize that, but that is like a big part of our business. So if you see something online and you want something a little bit different, a little bit longer, or you want to change something, don't be afraid to ask, because I'm willing to make those changes to make you happy.
I love that. And your Instagram handle is Funari New York, or what is it?
Yes, the Instagram is Funari New York. Make sure you go for the black circle, because the white one got hacked. That's another horrible story that we could do another day. During the pandemic, we had to fight for it we couldn't get it back. So please do not touch the white circle. Go for the black circle. That's Funari New York. And actually Maxine Avenue by Funari as well. That's for the pet line.
Funari New York, Funari.
New York, NEWYORK for the Instagram.
That's amazing. I'm talking about hacking in 2021. I used to tell people, when I started 7.5 years ago, I do a Facebook Live. Afterwards, a week, I have 207,000 views. I have over on one of my in 2020 during all my talks I used to do to help people during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I had up to 1 million views until in 2021 they hacked me. And when they do that, but I fight for months. I went to the Facebook headquarters.
I love that.
And I fight until I got everything back. But they did the damages, removed my people, my followers.
Yes.
They didn't know I was still doing the show. They didn't know what I was doing.
Happened to us too.
It's sad. I don't understand what a person gets in hacking another person to destroy them like their hard work. Because I'm sure you had a lot of photos. All your work is there, your videos, every single thing.
Yeah,
it's very
we lost
bad.
that. It happens.
One of the things I tell everyone all the time, when you're down and out, you don't let depression or anything hold you back. Remember, there once was a man who had the blues because he had no shoes. Down the street, he met a man who had no feet. Any last words you want to inspire these amazing guests?
I mean, I just hope from hearing my story today to all designers and any entrepreneur out there is like, just don't let people say no to you, because every time someone would say you can't do it, it would build a fire in me to prove to them that I will do it. And that's what I could tell you is just stay positive, stay aligned, and you're gonna be okay. And don't let anyone steal your shine. Don't anyone steal your light, because they're gonna try. And just keep going forward. Just keep moving forward, because you will figure it out and you will be guided. And that's how I always feel like I have a divine guidance. And that's why I'm still doing what I do.
Wow. You can, you shall, you will. This is amazing. I want to tell you thank you from the bottom of my heart, from my team at Your Trauma Talks, Trauma Behind the Glamor. We have Janelle Funari from Maxine Avenue, New York City, and we have the famous and talented and beautiful Maxine with us. I'm going to tell you thank you so much, and for all of you listening today, think about all that she said today as golden nuggets laden with diamonds, and I want you to remember that you are enough. Love yourself and believe in you. This is Rob, Mr. Trauma Talks, and the amazing Janelle Funari of Maxine Avenue, New York City. We love you.